every human being has a gift. And this is what I really want to emphasize. What I have to talk about is, I found the gift that I have. It's a divine gift, okay? And it sets your fate into motion once, and you start to see your divine lifeline, so to speak. And that divine lifeline is guided by the Creator. When you're off doing your own thing, it's got nothing to do with the Creator, it's got to do with your ego, right? And then so, but every human being is born with a gift. And every human being is associated with a number of people when they come here. And they're expected from the Creator, and they promised the Creator that, and before they came here, that they would achieve weaving their blanket together. And so some are weaving, and some, the blanket's not even being weaved, because they're really into the material. So what is your divine gift? And that will then show you your destiny in life. And then when you understand your divine gift and your divine destiny, that's when humanity begins to live in harmony with each other. Because you all realize you're all divine. Just like the Creator's divine, right? There's divinity in you. And therefore, that divinity will connect with each other. And then eventually, you will finish your blanket. And that's symbolic. Okay, so the Creator's weaving this huge, beautiful blanket. And some people will get lost, and that part doesn't get done. Somebody else will come and get that done, and it just takes time. So that's what we mean by generational. Each one will come with a higher spiritual look at life. Some of them will get lost, and some of them will stay on track. Well, I found mine, that the Creator showed me, is that I have I got a divine gift called, I call it Sacred Spiritual Light Codes. Okay, and I won't talk a lot about that, but Sacred Spiritual Light Codes, when they show up, they tell me where I'm going to go. Okay, so like I play music, and one of the codes is 711, so I ended up playing my music in Kamloops at 711 Seymour Street. Just down from the 7-Eleven, So that's my gift. I can see that in the community. I can see that in a human being. I can see that in the entire universe. I can see it globally. Okay? Because that code, those codes that I have, I've been gifted with, they're very demanding, and they require discipline. Okay, I cannot use those for my personal benefit. I could be a millionaire right now by using those for my own personal benefit. That's not what they're here for. They're here to help the healing process, to show people absolute connection. Because numbers, you cannot fudge them. Well, you could, but the guy that always fudges the numbers, the auditor always finds it, right? The Creator is the auditor. Okay, so to speak, So codes, numbers, and codes end wars. Okay, as soon as you find out the code of your enemy, so-called enemy, you're going to defeat them. And so codes are the most powerful of all the numbers. So the Creator provided me with 4 specific special codes. And when you see this back here, okay, see that back there? Every one of those circles has the code. And it's a major event that happened in the world. But I had to accept that, okay, that was my destiny, my personal destiny that I'm to share with humanity, because it's just a gift for me. It's not mine. It belongs to the human race. So I am using it to help move us along in terms of along and towards a greater civilization. And I call that greater civilization today the new indigenous nations of the earth. That's where I've arrived at now. I've been searching for that name all my life. And then finally, last year, I said, okay, the new indigenous nations of the earth. Wow, that sounds good. So then I realized N-I-N-E, it said 9. Okay, so 9 is a completion number. So therefore, we're completing a cycle, and we're moving into another cycle. Okay? And there's two holy numbers. Okay? And they're very specific holy numbers, 9 and 19. So when you multiply 9 times 19, you get 171. That's one of the codes. And so you could do 171 as a different 117, 171, 711, and 77. Those are the codes that I'm talking about. Okay? And they're popping up constantly now. And they're telling me things about what's going on. And so that's why I am planning to write a book called The New Indigenous Nation, Calling of the New Indigenous Nations of the Earth. Okay, so I can pass that on. But, but codes, like a lot of people, I don't understand numbers. Well, yeah, you do. You get a paycheck and all of a sudden you're all happy. Sure you understand numbers, but mystically, no, you don't. Yes. So I'm talking about deep spiritual, mystical meanings behind a letter that transforms into a number. Okay? So that's the gift I was gifted with. Okay? And so I see a lot of things that are coming, and I see things that have happened, and that they have these codes, and it's very, very consistent. And it doesn't. It does not. These codes do not give any negative message. When you look at something that's going to be destroyed, that's not negative. Okay? In many cases, it has to be destroyed. It has to go. Hate's got to go. Prejudice has got to go. We need a new way of looking at governing ourselves. Globally. We need a global civilization, a global government that's run by communities, for example, not run by governments the way we see it today, but that are rooted in. So that's what 9 is all about, is bringing these communities themselves into unity, and them connecting like cells around the world. Okay? And then once those cells wipe out all the negative cells, then you got a healthy body again. But that's going to take time. And that's what the codes are saying. So the codes are universal. And I found that out. And I'll have that in the book as to explain what that is. The sources of those codes. And so that I have to be very honest with people, that this is my truth that I'm talking about. You have your own truth, but look into your truth. Don't be afraid to search it here, search it there, search it over. Don't hold prejudice to anything. Don't hold prejudice against religion, for example. Study it, because the religions, the way they were originally written, beautiful. When humanity got their hands on it, became absolutely chaos, right? They used it to rule another person. Yeah. So when you look, so don't brush. I had to accept religion, the teachings of the religions of the world, because that's where the coach pointed me to. But then I began to realize that the original teachers, if you understand the original teachers' teachings, that's where the truth lies. Because this prophet and this prophet, they cannot say anything different when they represent it, when they come and represent the Creator on earth. They're divine as well, but they have a little bit higher divinity, because spirituality is progressive. Every one of us is at a different level of spiritual development. These ones are of a very high spiritual development, and they're the close to the Creator. But it doesn't mean that we're stuck. So we've got to earn those things as well. You know, you got to earn it. You know, and so like, there's many worlds in the Creator, many worlds, and so I wanted to emphasize that everything I've said here today is my truth, my investigation, my personal investigation into the truth. At some point, when a person starts the same process, at some point, our truths will merge. That's when there will be peace on earth. Cookstown.